Brian Dulesky with Able Distributors. Today I wanted to talk to you about the Refco condensate pump, the Gobi 2. Now before I get into the 5 things I absolutely love about this pump, let's see what this thing actually looks like. Now we want a quiet pump. We want it to move plenty of water, but we want it to be quiet. And you can see from the components here, it's got a replaceable filter. It's got an LED sensor for instead of a float. It's got 4 settings, so it only pumps as fast and as hard as it has to, which makes it quiet. You simply mount this underneath the unit, make sure it's level. They give you the anchors, they give you the screws, they give you zip ties, they give you all that stuff. Clear little collector tray, I like that a lot. It helps with diagnostics. The unit just slips in, and you can see it's got a very, very flexible drain hose, and it's got the connections for both power and an alarm if you happen to be running an alarm. This way you can tuck everything up inside the unit. Your pump sits below, water travels downhill. I like it a lot. So you can see from the video, the installation is pretty straightforward. You simply tuck the drain that comes in the unit right inside that clear collector tray, and you're done. It's got power, the LED's showing it's got power, you put the cover on, and you're finished. That's it. Now let's get into the 5 things I absolutely love about this pump. Today we're talking about the Refco Gobi 2 mini split condensate pump. So let's get into the 5 things I absolutely love about this pump. I think you will too. Now there's more than these 5 things. In these videos when I list 5 things, these are just ones that really get me excited about the product. But if you look into the product, there's probably 48 things. We're not going to go through all 48 things. So the quiet mode. Now we demand 2 things out of our condensate pumps. Move water and don't let us know you're doing it. I don't want to hear it. And that quiet mode does just that. These are quieter. And the way they do it is there's 4 different dip switch settings on this unit. And you choose the capacity of what you're installing. If it's an 18,000, 24,000, 36,000 BTU, you choose the capacity. So the pump only has to work as hard as it needs to remove the condensate. And it runs quieter. I love it. Next up, a diagnostic LED light. Now, we're used to having these in furnaces, but this does 2 parts. One, it makes sure that you got power and it's ready to go on a new install. And if anything's going on, it'll let you know later. Now, part of the diagnostic part that I like is the unit comes with a clear water tray. So once you remove the cover, you can see what's going on in the tray. You're not trying to dip your finger in or take a peek to see what's going on. It's clear. You can see what's going on. A digital sensor in place of a float. So there's no float to fail or get stuck. And we know floats get stuck, they fail, they deteriorate, and they fail to float. So I like the digital sensor a lot. Next up, universal applications. Now obviously we sell the Bosch mini splits, but there's a lot of mini splits out there, and it's nice to have something that's equipped to run with every single one of them. I like that a lot. Under unit mount. Now a lot of guys like their pumps tucked inside the units. To me personally, I like this because it just makes more sense. There's such a lack of room in there, and water tends to flow downhill. So to have this thing below where I can inspect the pump without having to open up the cover of the unit, so I can quickly take off the cover of the pump, I can see through the clear little collector tray there how much water is in. I can see the LED to make sure it's ready to roll. I don't have to open up the whole thing. So I really like that a lot. That's 5 things I love about the Refco Gobi 2 condensate pump for mini splits. Brian Dulesky, Able Distributors.